The words hit me like a gunshot in a quiet room. We should explore our options, Emily said, her voice strangely calm, as though she were asking if we should try a new restaurant. I blinked, staring at her across the kitchen table. The late afternoon sun painted stripes of gold across her face through the blinds, but her eyes were elsewhere, colder, distant, already a million miles away from me. My throat tightened. Options? I asked, the word cracking like old wood. She leaned back in her chair, tucking a strand of chestnut hair behind her ear, and gave me a smile so soft it almost disguised the knife she'd just driven into me. You know, we married young. Don't you ever wonder what else is out there? What we're missing? The coffee in my mug turned bitter on my tongue. In hindsight, the signs had been there. Her sudden late nights at work, the new perfume she didn't wear for me, the way her phone seemed to vanish from the counter when I entered the room. But I told myself it was stress, that she was tired, that life had dulled the edges of the woman I once couldn't breathe without. I loved her. That was my sin. I loved her enough to ignore the shadows gathering in the corners of our marriage. But sitting there listening to her talk about options, I felt something inside me fracture. So what are you saying, Emily? My voice was lower now, heavier, as if speaking hurt. She didn't flinch. I'm saying maybe we take a break. See other people. Just to be sure. The silence between us roared louder than any fight we'd ever had. The days that followed were a blur of denial and obsession. I replayed every detail of our conversations, every text she typed with her phone angled away from me, every too long shower she took after coming home late. My friends told me I was paranoid. Couples go through rough patches, they said. Don't jump to conclusions. But deep down, I already knew. One night, while she slept beside me, I reached for her phone. My hands trembled as if I were holding a bomb. And when I unlocked it, I realized I was. The messages were all there. His name was Ryan. A coworker. The words blurred as I scrolled. Can't stop thinking about you. Last night was amazing. When are you telling him? My heart didn't just break, it collapsed. I lay there in the dark, listening to the steady rhythm of her breathing. The woman I had built my life around was dreaming peacefully beside me, while my own world turned to ash. The next morning, I watched her move around the kitchen, humming softly as she buttered her toast. I wanted to scream, to throw the phone at her, to demand how she could stand there smiling after betraying me. Instead, I said nothing. Big day at work, she chirped, grabbing her bag. Don't wait up. Her lips brushed my cheek, the kiss so mechanical it felt like mockery. And in that moment, something inside me shifted. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to fall apart. If she wanted options, she'd see that I had them too. It wasn't revenge that drove me. Not at first. It was survival. I needed a lifeline, something to remind me I was more than the man she was throwing away. That's when I reconnected with Claire. She'd been a friend from college, someone I'd lost touch with over the years. We met for coffee, just coffee, I told myself. But the way she listened, the way her eyes softened when she laughed, the way she saw me instead of what I lacked, it was like breathing fresh air after drowning. I didn't tell Claire everything, not right away. But she knew. Women always know. You don't deserve this, she said quietly one night as we walked by the river, city lights flickering on the water. You deserve someone who chooses you every day. Her words sank into me like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. Emily's lies grew bolder. She'd disappear for entire weekends under the excuse of team retreats. Her excuses became rehearsed, her eyes less careful. Finally, I decided to test her. I've been thinking. I told her one evening, my voice deliberately casual. Maybe you're right. Maybe we should take a break. See what else is out there. Her fork froze halfway to her mouth. For a flicker of a moment, panic flashed in her eyes before she smoothed it over with a smile. Really? You'd be okay with that? I nodded, though inside rage burned like acid. She thought she'd won. That I was so weak, so desperate, I'd quietly accept my role as the discarded husband while she ran off with Ryan. But she didn't know about Claire. The confrontation came sooner than I expected. Emily came home late one night, the scent of cologne clinging to her like a confession. Rough day at work. I asked, my voice steady. She blinked, caught off guard. Yeah. Meetings ran long. I set my phone on the table. Her texts with Ryan glowed from the screen. Her face drained of color. "Don't bother lying," I said. My voice wasn't angry, it was worse. It was calm. "I know." Her lips parted, searching for excuses, but none came. Finally, she whispered, "I didn't mean for this to happen." I laughed, bitter and hollow. "You meant every text. Every night you chose him over me. Don't insult me with apologies." Tears welled in her eyes. I thought maybe we weren't right for each other anymore." I leaned forward, my gaze sharp as glass. "Then you should have had the courage to leave, not crawl behind my back." For the first time, she looked small, fragile, like the facade she had built was finally collapsing. That weekend, I packed my bags. She didn't fight me. She didn't beg. Maybe she thought Ryan was waiting to step into my place. But here's what she didn't know. I wasn't walking away alone. Claire helped me carry the last box to my car. Her hand brushed mine, steady and sure. And in that moment, the pieces of my broken heart began to fit together in a new shape. When Emily came outside and saw us together, her face crumbled. She opened her mouth as if to speak, but no words came. I met her gaze one last time. "You wanted options," I said. "So did I." Then I drove away, leaving her standing in the driveway with nothing but the hollow victory of a plan that had backfired. People say betrayal destroys you. And they're right, it does. But sometimes it also sets you free. Emily thought she was trading up, chasing excitement, testing what she thought she deserved. What she never realized was that betrayal has a way of circling back. She wanted options. She forgot I had them too. And in the end, it wasn't her who replaced me. It was me who replaced her.